This example is from MGF 1107 when we're dealing with the effective annual yield. In this question it says determine the effective annual yield for $1 invested for 1 year at 7.7% compounded quarterly. Now one has to remember in order to do this problem that the effective annual yield is basically the simple interest that would need to be charged to give you the same amount of interest as a compounded rate over the same period of time. So in this problem we have compounded interest. It's compounded quarterly. In this problem we're going to have to figure out how much interest is earned on this account that's compounded quarterly, and then from that we can figure out the simple interest that would have to be charged to give us the same amount of interest. So since it says it's compounded quarterly, we are going to have to use the compound interest formula, which is A is equal to the principal P times the quantity 1 plus the interest rate R over the number of compoundings per year n to the n times the number of years t. So in this case we have A is equal to the principal is only $1 times 1 plus the interest rate as a decimal would be 0.077 divided by the number of compoundings a year. Since it says quarterly, that means n is 4, to the n times t. Well, since this is only for 1 year, this would just be 4 times 1. So A is equal to one times the quantity 1 plus 0.077 divided by 4, close the parentheses, and then we want to raise that to the 4 times 1 is, I'll just 4, just put 4, I'll multiply for the calculator, and we get $1 and 7.9 cents. So this would be $1.07925 So that's how much we would have in the account after 1 year. So if we invested $1 for 1 year at 7.7% compounded quarterly, we would get about $1.08. Now to figure out the interest on that compounded interest problem, we have to take the interest and that would be equal to the amount or the balance minus the original principal. So that's going to be equal to the amount or the final balance minus the original amount of money we invested, which was the principal. So in our calculator we have the amount, and from that we just have to subtract the principal of $1. So minus $1, that would give us 0.079252046. That's the interest, which means if our account was using simple interest, we would need to have a simple interest rate of 7.93%. So we have to convert this back into a percentage, which would be 7.9, and it says to the nearest hundredth up in our directions, so it'd be 7.93. So an account that is compounded quarterly for 1 year at 7.7% interest is equivalent to a simple interest rate that's only compounded once at the end of the year at 7.93%. So the effective annual yield is 7.93%.